In the vast expanse of celestial realms, a figure of immense power and beauty emerged: Lucifer. Now, let's take a step back for a moment and set the scene. Picture, if you will, a hierarchy of divine beings, each assigned a role in maintaining the balance of the heavenly cosmos. At the very pinnacle of this celestial pyramid stood three archangels, the highest-ranking angels in heaven, and among them was Lucifer. Lucifer, whose name translates to light-bringer or morning star, was not just another archangel. He was bestowed with an unparalleled beauty that outshone every other celestial being. It was as if the divine creator had poured an extra dose of heavenly glow into him, making him a spectacle of awe and admiration. But his beauty was not his only defining trait. Lucifer was endowed with wisdom, a wisdom that transcended the understanding of many other celestial beings. His mind was a vast expanse of knowledge, a treasure trove of divine secrets. It was said that his wisdom was second only to the divine creator himself. Lucifer's position in the celestial hierarchy was a testament to his extraordinary attributes. He was one of the chief conductors of the heavenly chorus, leading the celestial beings in their hymns of praise to the divine creator. His voice, like a melodious symphony, resonated throughout the heavenly realms, echoing the glory of the divine. However, as we'll see in the unfolding narrative, even the most magnificent of angels can fall from grace. This tale serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of pride and the consequences of rebellion against divine authority. Hold on to your seats as we delve deeper into the rise and fall of Lucifer. We'll be exploring the details of his heavenly rebellion, his transformation into Satan, and his role in the world today. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. It means the world to us. With power and beauty comes pride, a vice that even angels aren't immune to. Let's delve into the heart of our tale, where Lucifer, the morning star, the bearer of light, begins his transformation. In the vast celestial expanse of heaven, Lucifer was not just any angel. He was radiant, resplendent, and rivaled only by God's brilliance. But with this magnificence, a seed of pride began to sprout in his heart. This was the beginning of his downfall. Lucifer was not content being second best. His pride began whispering sweet nothings into his ear, sowing seeds of discontent and rebellion. It urged him to question his place in the grand scheme of things, to challenge the status quo. His pride made him believe that he was more than just an angel, that he could be equal to God, if not surpass him. This pride was not born overnight. It grew, feeding on Lucifer's vanity and ambition. It began as a tiny flicker, a mere thought, before it consumed him entirely. The more he indulged it, the stronger it became, until it was all he could think about. He began to see himself not as a servant of God, but as a contender for his throne. But pride is a dangerous thing. It blinds us, makes us overlook our limitations, and puts us on a pedestal we have no right being on. And so it was with Lucifer. His pride made him forget his place, forget that he was created by God, not equal to him. Lucifer's pride didn't just affect him, it spread like a contagion, infecting those around him. He began to rally other angels, whispering promises of power and equality, of a heaven where they were not mere servants but equals. This was the beginning of his rebellion, a rebellion born not out of a desire for justice, but out of pride. But pride, as they say, comes before a fall. And so this pride that had grown so immense, so all-consuming, was the very thing that led to Lucifer's downfall. It was the beginning of the end for the morning star, the start of his transformation into Satan. Lucifer, blinded by pride, initiated a rebellion against the Creator himself. Picture this, the most beautiful of all angels, bathed in the radiance of heavenly light, leading a revolt. But what could possibly cause such a celestial being to challenge the divine order? The answer, my friends, is pride. A pride so profound it eclipsed his divine wisdom and sparked a cataclysmic chain of events. Lucifer, now consumed by his ego, started to nurture a dangerous idea. He began to believe that he could be equal to God, that he could claim the throne of heaven for himself. His heart, once filled with love and adoration for his Creator, was now tainted with envy and ambition. This wasn't a silent internal struggle. Oh no, Lucifer was charismatic, persuasive. He used his influence to rally a third of the heavenly host, convincing them that they too were deserving of more. They were angels, divine beings. Why should they be subservient to anyone? And so they joined Lucifer in his rebellion, ready to wage a war against their Creator. The heavenly realm, once a place of harmonious existence, was now a battlefield. The air filled with the clash of heavenly weapons and the cries of angels torn between loyalty and ambition. It wasn't a war of physical strength, but of spiritual might, a test of faith and allegiance. Lucifer, the once revered angel, now led an army against his Creator, his pride blinding him to the futility of his actions. He believed that he could overthrow the divine order, that he could usurp God's throne, but little did he know he was setting in motion a series of events that would forever change his existence, and indeed the course of history itself. Little did he know his actions would lead to a transformation, changing the course of history. The rebellion failed, and the punishment was swift and severe. In a universe where justice is absolute, the repercussions of defiance are inescapable. Such was the case for Lucifer, the once shining star of the heavenly realms, who dared to challenge the throne of the Almighty. The celestial revolt had been quashed, the insurrectionists defeated, and now came the time for retribution. Lucifer, the instigator of this heavenly rebellion, was dealt the harshest sentence. He was expelled, cast out from the hallowed grounds of paradise, and banished into the abyss. His lofty aspirations of climbing to the Most High's throne were shattered, and instead he tumbled into the depths of disgrace. The heavenly host watched as the once revered angel was stripped of his divine glory. His radiant beauty, his melodious voice, and his coveted position, all were taken from him. He who was once the morning star now fell like lightning from the heavens. It was a fall from grace that echoed through the heavenly realms, a stark reminder of the consequences of pride and rebellion. This expulsion was not merely physical, it was a spiritual and existential fall. Lucifer was not only removed from the heavenly realms, but he was also distanced from the divine presence. He was cut off from the source of all goodness, all light, all love. The anguish of this separation was far greater than any physical torment he could endure. Despite his fall, Lucifer's ambition remained undeterred. His pride morphed into resentment, his brilliance into cunning, and his leadership into manipulation. He, who once held a position of high esteem among the heavenly host, now ruled over the realm of darkness, gathering around him legions of fallen angels, those who had followed him into rebellion and now shared in his downfall. From a position of high esteem, Lucifer was cast down, marking the beginning of his downfall. This was the moment that marked the genesis of evil as we know it, the birth of the adversary, the inception of Satan. From the heavenly realms to the earthly plane, a new chapter began for the fallen angel. Our journey takes us to a pivotal moment in Lucifer's tale, a transformation so profound it would forever change the course of spiritual history. Lucifer, once the shining star of the heavenly court, was banished from his celestial home, becoming a fallen angel. This fall from grace was not the end of his story, but rather a dark and twisted beginning. Lucifer's transformation into Satan, the devil, was not immediate, nor was it simple. It was a process, a metamorphosis of the spirit fueled by his pride and rebellion. The once favored angel, the bearer of light, was now tainted, his light extinguished, replaced by the darkness of his defiance. His divine beauty and wisdom, once his pride, now served a sinister purpose. Becoming Satan marked a shift in Lucifer's existence. No longer a dweller of the heavens, he was now the adversary of God, the embodiment of all that is contrary to the divine will. This was not a physical transformation, but a profound change of identity and purpose. His angelic nature was corrupted, his divine love turned into a destructive hate, his wisdom twisted into cunning deceit. This transformation was not only a change in Lucifer, but it also had a profound impact on the spiritual landscape. The heavens had lost an angel, But the earthly realm had gained a devil. Satan, the adversary, was now free to roam the earthly plane, sowing seeds of rebellion and sin, just as he had done in the heavenly realm. His new identity as Satan also brought a new mission. No longer content with challenging God's authority, he sought to corrupt God's most cherished creation, humanity. His goal was no longer to ascend above the stars, but to drag mankind down with him in his rebellion. The once revered angel was now the embodiment of evil, a symbol of rebellion and sin. Lucifer's transformation into Satan serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of pride and defiance. It's a tale of a fall from grace and the transformation of an angel into a devil. Satan, now a fallen angel, had a new role to play. In the grand scheme of divine narratives, Satan is often depicted as the antagonist, the embodiment of evil. His role, as portrayed in various religious texts, is multifaceted and complex. Let's delve into this. In Christian theology, Satan is seen as a tempter, a deceiver who leads humanity astray. Remember the biblical story of Adam and Eve. It was Satan, in the guise of a serpent, who lured them into eating the forbidden fruit, causing their expulsion from Eden. This pivotal event highlights Satan's role as the instigator of sin and disobedience. In Islamic teaching, Satan or Shaitan is also a deceiver, but his rebellion against God is rooted in pride. Shaitan refused to bow to Adam, believing himself superior. Consequently, he was cast out of heaven and vowed to lead humanity away from the path of righteousness. This narrative underscores Satan's role as the one who incites arrogance and disobedience. In other religious and philosophical traditions, Satan's role can be interpreted differently. Some view him as a symbol of rebellion against unjust authority, or as a representation of our inner struggles and temptations. However, across these varying perspectives, a common thread is that Satan embodies opposition to divine will and order. The role of Satan in the world, then, can be seen as a test for humanity. He represents the challenges, the temptations, the trials that we must overcome in our spiritual journey. His presence serves as a reminder of the constant battle between good and evil, right and wrong, light and darkness. But let's not forget, the power of Satan is only allowed by divine permission. It's part of the grand design, a divine plan that allows free will, where individuals are given the choice between following the path of righteousness or succumbing to temptation. The fallen angel now had a kingdom of his own, a kingdom of darkness and despair. But remember, in this kingdom, every one of us has the power to choose light over darkness, love over hate, and hope over despair. The war that began in heaven continues on earth, with Satan leading the charge. A battle of cosmic proportions. It's a struggle of good versus evil, a tug-of-war between righteousness and sin. This spiritual warfare is not fought with physical weapons, but with the powers of faith, truth, and love. In the midst of life's daily struggles, we may not always see it, but this conflict is as real as the ground beneath our feet. Picture Satan, no longer the angelic being of light, but a roaring lion prowling the earth, seeking to devour and destroy. His strategy? Deception, temptation, and discouragement. The goal? To lead mankind away from the path of righteousness. But fear not, for good doesn't stand idle. Arrayed against Satan's legions are the forces of good, led by the divine. They wield weapons of faith, hope, and love, ready to defend and guide humanity. Their mission? To illuminate the truth, to inspire righteousness, and to offer solace in times of despair. Every heartbreak, every victory, every moment of doubt, and every triumph of faith, they are all part of this ongoing spiritual warfare. Each one of us, in our own way, is a participant, a soldier in this battle, whether we realize it or not. Our actions, our choices, our faith, they are all part of this larger cosmic struggle. And while Satan may seem formidable, remember this: the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Hope is not lost. Goodness, truth, and love, they are powerful forces. They have the power to transform, to heal, and to overcome. Let us not forget that this war is not just about the forces of good and evil. It's about us too. It's about our choices, our struggles, our victories, and our defeats. It's about our journey, our growth, and our faith. The battle rages on, with humanity caught in the crossfire. In this spiritual warfare, we are not mere bystanders. We are participants. We are warriors. And in this struggle, remember, we are not alone. For good is with us, and love is our shield. Every story has an end, and so does Satan's. In the grand tapestry of time, there are prophecies woven into the threads, foretelling of the end times, where Satan's reign will be no more. These narratives are not a mere tale of doom and gloom, but rather an assurance of ultimate justice and redemption. The book of Revelation, the final chapter in the New Testament, gives us a vivid picture of these end times. It speaks of a great battle known as Armageddon, where the forces of good and evil will clash in a final showdown. It's here where Satan's ultimate defeat is foretold. Revelation chapter 20 speaks of an angel coming down from heaven, holding in his hand the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain. He seizes the dragon, that ancient serpent, who is the devil and Satan, and binds him for 1,000 years. The prophecy continues, saying that after the 1,000 years are ended, Satan will be released from his prison. He will come out to deceive the nations at the four corners of the earth, gathering them for battle. But fire from heaven will consume them, and the devil who had deceived them will be thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where he will be tormented day and night forever and ever. This is not just a story of defeat, but of ultimate triumph. It speaks of a time when evil will be fully vanquished, and righteousness will reign. It tells of a time when every tear will be wiped away, and there will be no more death or sorrow or crying or pain. Let's not forget, these prophecies are not just about the end of Satan, but also about the beginning of a new era, an era of peace, justice, and love, where all creation will live in harmony under the rule of the righteous King. Thus, we see that the narrative of Satan, the fallen angel, is not just about his fall, but also about his end. The prophecies assure us that his reign of deceit, destruction, and death will not last forever. The fallen angel's reign, as foretold, is destined to end. While it's a tale of rebellion and downfall, there are lessons to be learned. The saga of Lucifer's fall from grace and transformation into Satan may be steeped in divine lore, yet it offers relatable moral insights for us. These lessons are not confined within the boundaries of religion, but rather they transcend into the realm of human values and ethics, making them universally relevant. One of the most glaring lessons in this story is the destructive power of pride. Lucifer, once an angel of light, allowed his pride to obscure his vision, leading him to challenge the divine order. This teaches us the importance of humility. No matter how high we rise, we must remember our roots and respect the order that governs our existence. The downfall of Lucifer serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked pride, a lesson that echoes through time. Next, the story illustrates the repercussions of rebellion when it springs from self-interest and defiance of rightful authority. Lucifer's rebellion was not for justice or righteousness, but for personal gain, a desire to usurp authority. This teaches us that rebellion should be for the cause of justice and truth, not for selfish ambitions. Thirdly, the transformation of Lucifer into Satan underscores the concept of personal responsibility. Lucifer chose his path and had to bear the consequences of his actions, just as we must in our lives. We are reminded that our actions have consequences, and we are accountable for the choices we make. The story also encourages discernment and vigilance. Just as Lucifer was able to cause a rebellion in heaven, temptation and deceit can lead us astray in our lives. We must be vigilant and discerning to guard against such influences. Lastly, the tale illustrates the power of redemption and hope. Despite Satan's attempts to thwart divine plans, good ultimately triumphs. This serves as a reminder that no matter how bleak things may seem, there is always room for hope and redemption. In the end, pride and rebellion lead to downfall, a timeless lesson for all. Today we journeyed through the celestial realms, witnessed a rebellion, and saw a transformation of epic proportions. We started at the very beginning, in the divine realms where Lucifer, the bearer of light, held an esteemed position. His beauty and wisdom were unparalleled, and he was a beloved figure in the heavenly courts. Yet, his pride began to overshadow his virtues. He began to desire more. He yearned to be like God himself. This pride was the first step towards his downfall. Our journey then took us to the heavenly rebellion, where Lucifer, emboldened by his pride, led a revolt against the divine order. He managed to sway a third of the heavenly host to his cause, causing a great upheaval in the celestial realms. However, this rebellion was not to go unchecked. We then witnessed the fall. The divine justice was swift and unyielding. Lucifer, along with his followers, were cast out from the heavens, their divine status stripped away. They were banished to the earthly realms, far from the glory and beauty they once enjoyed. It was a fall of epic proportions, a testament to the consequences of pride and rebellion. From there we saw the transformation of Lucifer into Satan. No longer the bearer of light, he became the adversary, the deceiver. His beauty was replaced with a terrifying visage. His wisdom turned into cunning deceit. His fall from grace was complete, and he embraced his new role with a vengeance. We then examined Satan's role in the world. No longer a heavenly figure, he became a force of chaos and temptation in the earthly realms. His primary goal became to lead humanity astray, to draw them away from the divine path. He became a symbol of evil, a figure to be feared and resisted. Our journey continued with the ongoing war between good and evil. Despite his fall, Satan continues to wage a battle against the divine order. He seeks to corrupt and lead astray, but his efforts are continually thwarted by the forces of good. As we look towards the end times, we saw that this battle is not eternal. There will come a day when evil will be vanquished, when the forces of good will reign supreme. It's a reminder that though the battle may be fierce, the victory of good is assured. We concluded with the lessons from this story. The fall of Lucifer serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of pride and rebellion. It's a cautionary tale of the consequences of straying from the divine path and the importance of humility and obedience. Remember, every choice has a consequence. Choose wisely. Thank you for your time. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed.